Is this our first wine?
First wine episode.
Wow.
This is our first not all beer episode.
Yeah, it might be.
No, he's looking.
It could. I mean, for me, wine's always involved, so it's a power of inclusion.
Well, look, I was actually staring right across from me. It says rum cake
and berries.
Well, I honed in on rum cake. I look, confession time. I love rum cake.
Have you had ours? Have you had mine?
Not.
His life.
Oh my goodness.
I love rum.
Life,
first off,
his life is about to be changed.
Now I will tell you, this is how much I love it. My family recipe was the featured dessert at EBT's for a long time.
Oh, fun.
Wow.
You know, they just tore that down.
Yeah.
I was driving by. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Wow. For those who don't know, EBT is a classic restaurant in Kansas City.
Was.
Well, it was. I mean, the building, the
building is no more.
Yeah, wow.
Had a phone booth in it.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think
or was it an elevator? It was one of the two.
I think the reason Nick couldn't, there's been so many episodes that we don't know what we've done on so many of these episodes. This is actually episode 69.
Nice.
Oh, fun. Very good.
That's it. That's the joke.
Is that the only time we're going to mention episode 69?
We'll see.
I don't know. Something might slide in.
Phrasing. Would you like to start the show?
Should we do it?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
That seems kind of...
Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, promotional products and design. They cover your brand bumper to bumper with graphic design, promo products, and print. See what Dire Oil Graphics can build for you at direoil.com. That's DYEROIL.com.
Smooth.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Jonathan for doing that voiceover. Welcome to Beers with Nigel. This is Nigel.
I'm that other guy.
It's a show about beer and other stuff, and we're doing and other things
Stuff. I don't know.
We're doing other stuff and other things today.
We actually are doing other things.
Yeah, we are in. I guess we're downtown Lenexa.
You're in Old Town.
Oh, it's called Old Town Road.
The original, the old Santa Fe Trail Drive.
Santa Fe Trail Drive. Yeah. Welcome to the show.
We drove your covered wagon.
Good.
Right?
It looks like a wagon, doesn't it? Welcome to the show, Craig Adcock. He is the proprietor and owner of, is it Cafe Ocho?
Table
Ocho.
Yeah, I mean, case in point, right?
Oh, yeah.
8 seats
Eight
around.
seats.
A table.
I thought Ocho was 5. It's not. It's 8.
Yeah, it happens.
And also
we're gonna do Spanish class next episode.
Yeah. Also, the world famous Jude's Rum Cake. Oh, my God. So happy to be here. It's been a long time since I've seen you, brother. Last time we came, you rolled out the red carpet. I was like, podcast guest for sure. Definitely. We had such a great time.
You guys were just leaving Limitless, I think.
We were.
Yeah, David and Emily kind of kept you guys hydrated.
Yeah.
And we just kind of decided to continue on this side of the tracks.
No, it was great. It was great. So Craig, tell us about who is Craig Adcock?
Oh, my gosh, I don't even know. 12 years later, here I sit after leaving corporate America. But I make a rum cake 6 months out of the year. The other 6 months out of the year, I have a little 8-seat restaurant. And it's pretty farmer-driven, just like everything else. I like the quality ingredients. I like to support the real people. I like my spend for my wine, for my food, for my products to go towards, music lessons or that sort of thing, as opposed to the big marketing budgets. So so I have a little 8-seat restaurant. I have you for about 3.5 hours, and I'm about 95% seasonal and local. It's kind of nice. I can say the salt and the pepper's not from here, but pretty much everything else is. I can name the names. And then and when you guys popped in last time, we had just I think it was a pre-order for the Jude Rum Cake Imperial Stout that Limitless did. And so here we sit 6 months later. So it's kind of fun to be able to try it.
Well, it's people are probably wondering what does this have to do with beer? Well, you kind of said it. You take a rum cake and you do a collab with Limitless Brewing.
Yeah.
Tell us about that beer and how that happened.
So second time. So the first time, David and Emily, which I love David's palate. He's kind of a magician when it comes to the barrels and what he does with beer. But he did a barley wine like 3 years ago. And it was absolutely phenomenal. When you close your eyes and smell the glass, it smells just like a rum cake. And so the next year we did something with Crane and with Michael, and I love those guys, Chris. And then David reached back out and said, "Hey, I want to do a stout. Let's see how it goes." So I dropped some cakes off, and then he called, and I dropped more cakes off. And then he called, and I dropped more cakes off. And I'm like, "Dude, I think you're just eating these damn things." and he assured me that he didn't. He wasn't. But yeah, I don't know how many damn cakes he put in there. I mean, probably 12.
The big ones or the small ones?
Yeah, the big ones.
Because there's several sizes of cakes, Nick.
Yeah. One flavor. The sound guru hasn't had the cake yet, so it's gonna be kind of fun.
There's one in front of us. That's the small one.
That's the small.
That one will make you mad because once you eat it, you'll be like, "Fuck! I only got one."
Yeah,
I need 12 more.
Yeah, and you'll pay for the next one. It tastes better when you pay for it.
Yes, they sell them. They sell themselves.
There we go. Hey, look. Ever the entrepreneur.
Right.
So this is you and your wife's place, Teresa, who I called Sarah earlier. Sorry, Teresa.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's been only 6 months since I've been here. Well, actually, longer than that, I guess. That would be because that was right after Thanksgiving when we came.
Yeah, and I was in a rum cake haze. I mean, so I think you guys came on a Saturday, and it was great because I was like, holy hell, I'm so tired.
So what is rum cake season? What does that run?
So October until April, and then we start the restaurant up April until late September, October.
How many cakes are you making in that?
So we do 4 sizes, 1 flavor, and we knock out about 40,000 a year out of this little space.
Holy moly!
And they ship all over. Like we got one, a customer came in a couple hours ago. His wife and child are leaving for India tomorrow morning, so they're taking one to their family. So kind of fun.
Yeah.
But we've been doing the cakes for like 20 years. So, it's like, I think we're like the what do they say? I'm a big music guy. So I love one of my bands. They're like, it only took us 10 years to be, an overnight success. So.
I will say this about the rum cake because my Jamaican mother made them, every Christmas, every Thanksgiving. And she would take that Appleton's rum and put it in there.
Appleton's rock.
Yeah.
They're so good.
That, and it doesn't really burn off that much.
Yeah.
And you would get that, it'd be so dense, and you could take a piece of that cake and you would get a little buzz.
Yeah.
And so when I had your cake, I called my mother. I was like, I think you've met your match. It's just one of those things that and the one I got from you guys, I might have given away 2 pieces.
Oh yeah,
look, they're good. They're good when you're trying not to share.
And when I say pieces, I'm talking about like slivers. I'm like, no.
Yeah,
this is mine.
Nick, you have no idea. You have no.
I'm excited because my standard birthday gift from my mother is the rum cake.
Oh, fun!
Really?
Well, sorry, Mom.
No.
Or maybe not.
Look, I am hoping to be able to tell her. Look, Mom, sorry, you're fired.
Just order it from Jude's rum cakes.
Listen, Mom, we're gonna talk.
Yeah, just let her know she doesn't have to do the dishes. I'll do the dishes.
There we go. No, this is my favorite dessert.
Yeah, like Appleton's rocks. I mean, we've gone through so many rums over the years, and I love Venezuelan rum. I love Guada. I'm not in my interview mindset.
This is not an interview.
Yeah. Guatemala. I like the Guatemalan rums. I like Cuban rums. But we used to use a Haitian rum. And then the earthquake in Haiti, I think it was probably 15 years ago, interrupted our supply chain. So then we migrated to another interim fit, and then we ended up in New Orleans. And after Katrina, this little company had like 12 barrels floating. So we used them for 5-6 years. And in the interim, it started to get to the point to where it's like, it's time for us to start making our own rum. So we've been making our own rum for about 6.5 years now.
Oh, I did not know this. Breaking news.
Wow.
So it's kind of, I have the guys in Rocheport, the people in Rocheport make it for me. But it's kind of nice because it goes in kegs. So I have literally rum on tap in the back, and then the less carbon footprint.
You had my attention of rum on tap.
Can I just put a cot back there and live?
Yeah. I mean, there's a couch right there, Nick. I mean, if you pay rent,
right?
If I curl up, I think I might fit.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. And now I have 100% control. And so it's Louisiana sugarcane, and I grew up in Mississippi, and I'm a big rum guy, but Louisiana sugarcane, and then we barrel age it 2.5 years, and then put it in kegs, and then it's on tap, and here we are.
Wow.
I was just the other day having a conversation with somebody. We were wondering about using the plantation pineapple.
That'd probably be good. That'd probably be really good.
That's a good rum.
Yeah. You know, and I've had so many people over the years are like, well, you do flavors. Will you do? No, I would rather do one or two things extremely well rather than a lot not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it just sticks. You know, the pecans are from 200-year-old orchards about 2 hours south of here in Nevada, Missouri. I'm building up the hype, so hopefully when you bite into it,
that thing needs no hype, bro.
No,
you
just got to try it.
If you're making $40,000 a year, I think you're doing okay.
Yeah, so
the hype is built in.
We'll see.
I've got questions about this space. It's an interesting space because you have all the things. You have wine, you have liquor. When we were visiting you here, you even had some weird ass beers I'd never had. What is your history of? You know, we always ask the question when it's all beer people. Everybody knows what they were drinking when it was crap.
Yeah.
What were you drinking, and what? I know Nick is also a liquor guy as well. What were you drinking when you were younger, and what turned you on to some of the things to where you are now? Where you have quite the selection of things.
Yeah. I probably label myself now as a wine person, but I do love beer, and I love collaborations with different people. You always start out, it seems like, with rum, sweet stuff. People like, the old, like Matilda Bays back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those? Yeah. And, and then we were so poor, you'd start out with a 6-pack of Miller Lite and then go to Natty Light after that. And you go through the Stone Zone, blah, blah, blah. But then, through the years, I think your palate kind of evolves a little bit, and then you travel and you get exposed to more things. But I'm a big fan of wherever we are, you support that product.
Right.
So, if you're, like the Bahamas, you're going to have like Presidente rum, or if you're in Mexico, support the Mexican, or rum, actually beer. Wherever you are, support the local stuff, and over the years, you start meeting cool people and people that are really good at their craft and their trade. And they're like, oh, you like this, you should try this. And so before you know it, and it never seems to go down in price. but you know what? The quality's up there, and you're supporting the relationship. The relationship's really important to me. So when the pandemic hit, we had our rum cake business. We had our restaurant. We've always had our wine. And for an 8-seat restaurant, we have like 100 bottle selections. And then to your point, from a beer selection, I felt like I was kind of losing some of my beer people because, not everybody's into wine, which is fine. So we started, it's like, well, if I'm going to bring in beer, I'm going to have some kick-ass beers.
Yeah.
So we have some stuff that, it's like the old farmhouse, the old Saisons, we have the old lagers, and these houses have been around from like Austria and Germany since like the 1600s.
Right.
And a lot of people have not, been exposed to them. However, they're freaking rock stars.
Yeah.
And a lot of what we're doing in America right now are trying to mirror or mimic what these people have been doing for centuries. So that afternoon it was fun to share some beers with you.
Yeah, it was fun, and I think we might have gave you some. We cracked. We were knocking about. I think we went down to Gardner. Yeah. We were just doing the whole
little beer walkabout.
It was that Periodic. Was it Periodic?
Yeah. It was from God, what's the name of that brewery? It's like I don't know. Yeah, it's down in Gardner. Just Google it.
Yeah. And it was cool. It was cool. In the beer tour, I mean, God, you look at everything that's popping up, like on the Crossroads and everything. Merriam is like Shawnee is out of control. Yeah. And I just read, I think Martin City's coming to Lenexa.
Yeah, they're doing another one. Yeah.
And but there's a lot of bad beer out there too, as we all know.
We won't mention any.
We don't. Yeah, we don't want to saturate the market anymore. But I find that I like to support the really good people. And the people that are true to their craft and not just trying to color by the number or generate that significant revenue, which we all are.
Yeah.
But they're doing the right things for the right reasons.
Yeah. So if I remember correctly, you and your wife were ex-military, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So obviously, I mean, you have a wide-ranging palette of things going on. That probably had to affect where you are now. I mean, being able to travel, right?
Yeah. The Army, actually, I grew up poor in Mississippi. So, joining the Army, I was able to see parts of the world that I would have never been able to see, or I would have never cared to see, honestly. Back growing up, you eat you drink the milk or whatever, drink the Kool-Aid, and it's kind of like, everything I need is inside these state walls. And it's really not. Thank goodness I got out and I got to see the world. And then, when you get to see the world and explore, there's certain things you don't like or certain things that you're not aware of, but then it's different. And is that good? Is it bad? Is it indifferent? So, Yeah, I love it. And from a cooking standpoint, I have a little knife roll, so every time we cook or every time we travel, I carry knives. And I go to local markets and I try to just support, the artisans, the farmers and whatnot, but also just try to, eat what's local and what's fresh. And we also eat some other stuff. But.
Where did that cooking passion, the food, where did that come from? Was that growing up, or was it just something as you started traveling with the military?
Yeah, it kind of, I was the oldest brother, so I had two younger brothers. My mom was putting her way through college. And so, we'd cook hamburgers or whatever. We'd cook dinner, simple stuff. But we would also trade with a lot of farmers. So we'd get to go and pick all the vegetables after, like, the machinery went through, and then the friends and family went through, and then we're picking, like, the purple hull peas or whatever. And then you're hulling them, and then you're cooking them, and you're having, over cornbread or whatever. And then you just I just started reading cookbooks, and I loved the cookbooks. And then one New Year's Eve, when we moved to Kansas City, I wanted to learn how to barbecue and how to cook fish on the grill. And then this kind of happened. That's where the rum cake
Those are two very different things.
Right? But cooking fish on the grill is legit. I mean, it's hard. It's very hard.
It is.
And barbecue is hard. There's a lot of learning experiences there. And then over the years when you're traveling, I just always found myself migrating to the kitchen and, and then with the rum cakes, I'm big into wine and beer and whatnot, but I would start trading rum cakes or taking rum cakes to the winemakers, and then they would send me beer. They'd send me wine or beer or spirits or whatever. And yeah, before you know it, it's like, this is it's a cool relationship.
That's cake karma.
Cake karma.
Cake karma, I love it.
So it's time for a mystery beer, Craig.
Awesome. Let's see what's happening.
This is a mystery beer bag.
Cool.
It's obviously.
I thought it'd be bigger.
That's what she said. It is episode 69, isn't it?
Nice.
So obviously you can tell it came from a golf course.
Of course.
We don't know which one, and the person who procured it is not speaking. So you're gonna you get to grab one of the beers out of there. So these are the rules.
Do I close my eyes?
Sure.
Or do I just listen to the rules?
or both.
The rules might make you close your eyes.
So you're gonna try. Pull out the beer. You're going to crack it open. You're going to pour it. We've got the glasses here.
Okay.
You're going to try to avoid looking at the ABV.
Okay.
Because we play a little game. We
Cool.
taste it and we try to guess the ABV. We're terrible at it. That's why we keep doing it.
Cool.
So
just always round up.
I might try that.
A new rule.
It's Price is Right rules. So
Closest without going over.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Okay.
they're all cans, so you don't need
Oh, good.
So
Awesome.
Just put your hand in there and
Here
grab.
we go.
I can look at it and everything.
Yeah. Just do you hear that? Hear that sound? Do that again.
Mystery
It's mystery beer. That's Bree Barrows from Big Rip.
Big Rip.
Okay. Are they all light or is it a mix?
It's
We don't know.
It's actually the last 3 beers I had in my fridge.
So should I pour all so I can start lighter to heavier, or does it matter?
No, just pour one at a time. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
We'll take a few breaks.
This is really nice. I mean, you guys give me three like pours.
Yeah,
or
no,
are we
absolutely.
sharing? All right.
Do we know where is this from? I don't even know what the hell it is.
I don't either. From your fridge, apparently.
Yeah.
Seven
Prospector's-
Falls.
Yeah, Seven Falls Prospector's Pick. I'm not sure where I got that.
Okay.
That's part of my beer karma. So we have a thing called beer karma on this show, right?
Yep.
So we have the 2 rules. Rule
nice.
number 1, don't die. Rule number 2, don't be a dick.
Yeah.
So if you're a dick, because being a dick, don't be a dick covers a multitude of sins, right?
Yeah.
So if you're a dick, it ruins your beer karma or whatever karma. So
Yeah.
just don't be a dick. So this
But go into the world.
I don't. Yeah.
Beer will come back to you.
Right. It does.
And it's absolutely true.
Let's see what this is about.
What is the song? It's you say it best when you say nothing at all.
I always tell people when they ask about the rule number 2, I just tell them to go watch Roadhouse.
Oh,
Patrick Swayze will tell it all to you.
That's right.
Be nice.
And the knee. Take them out at the knees.
Oh, this is beer karma beer. It's from Red Legs Brewing out of I can't get some readers on that shit. I can't even read that.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, I was down at Border on a Sunday, hanging out, and got to talking to one guy, and he had just came back from wherever that brewery is in another state. He's like, "You want some?" I'm like, "Well, sure."
Yeah.
So,
hell yeah.
So I don't know. Can you?
That's refreshing.
Yeah, it is refreshing. This is going to be interesting to find out the ABV though. What do you think the ABV is? It's probably like 5.2.
Oh, I think it's low. I mean, it's like a session beer, sort of. It's a little more than a session beer, but I'd probably say, I'd say 5.1, 5.3.
What you got?
I'm gonna go 5.
Okay.
I'm playing the game.
All right.
I can't read that shit. Who's got better eyes?
So-
One of these days, I'll bring the readers on the show.
By the way, it's from Colorado Springs.
Oh, Colorado Springs. There we go.
Good.
Imported from Colorado Springs.
That's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
I don't know that they labeled the ABV.
If we've had that issue, it's probably on there,
I think it's 5153.
This is usually if we have somebody with us that they'll look it up for us on
Yeah.
Untapped.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah. Let me look.
Yeah, see, maybe you've got better
let's
eyes than
see.
us.
12
As he trombones out the same as we did.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know if it's on here.
I'll have to look it up.
So that could be like a little copyright non-infringement.
Or illegal.
Oh, well.
Probably depends on the state.
Yeah, it's only illegal if you get caught, right?
That is fair. So that's what Prospector's pick?
Kolsch inspired. So what are most Kolsch's?
About 5.
About 5.
Yeah.
5.2.
Yeah, maybe 5.3. Yeah,
Maybe
I got
5.3.
So let's talk about the restaurant.
That's
Okay.
where I was going.
Were you?
Yeah, we got to stop getting in my head and stealing my questions.
Well, people think we're twins, so there's that.
You're definitely not twins.
we're about the same height?
I don't know.
No? We look the same?
We're both on a podcast.
No?
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Our faces are on cans.
Are they?
Pictures of cans.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
Ah.
that is true.
All the cool. I have my face on a can. All the cool kids have faces
it, all
on
the
cans.
cool kids.
Of course, mine's a different kind of can, but you know.
Boy, jokes. So how did the restaurant thing come about? And to just describe to people who have never heard of the table Ocho, which is not 5.
No, that'd be cinco, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm trying to learn Portuguese because we're going to Portugal in August. I think
No
it's
shit.
like cinque or something like that. I gotta get on that boat quick. So learn it. No, it happened because I was running out of money. I had no money, and my wife told me you got to get a
revenue stream.
Yeah, she's like, you got to get a job, and I left Sprint in 2008, and so jumped, in the deep end making rum cakes, shipping them all over and stuff. And back then we were only making $1,200 a year, if that. And then the recession hit, and so we word of mouth our rum cakes, so it's all kind of direct to consumer. So somebody tells somebody else, blah blah blah. So anyway, we had pretty successful season. Looking back, I mean, it was beautiful. Ignorance bliss, right? Because it's like 1,500 cakes, if that. Right. And now it's just like it's kind of a machine. It's still fun, but it's still a machine. I have one assistant now that we knock everything out. But yeah, what happened was I had to buy my supplies after the big season, and so all that revenue I had and all that money I had in the bank account just started going down, down, down. So my wife's like, "Well, it's kind of cute. You're doing what you love, but you gotta make some money, and you got to get a job." So I was like, and we travel. We don't have kids. We've been married 25, 28 years. And I'm like, shit, I don't even think I would hire me. And so I was like, here's my concept. And she's like, okay. And it's kind of the way we've entertained for years. So you come to our house, and, the grill's always going. And you get there at like 6:30, and a handful of people will complain. They're like, we didn't eat till like 11:30. It's like, shut up. You've been eating for like 5 hours. We didn't have the main course. So with this, we dial.
You don't get invited next time. Oh, there we go.
We dial it in a little
Hold
bit.
on, no, I think that might have been a cry burp.
It's slightly above.
Yeah,
That was formal.
They're formal.
So we'll see.
I did talk over his burp.
We'll
see.
We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. We learned that we did a podcast down at the River Bluff in the River Market, and they have the phrase called a cry burp. And so if it's
maybe it was just a Hallmark moment.
That was also the episode where our buddy Alana was on the other side of the brewery and let one go, and it still was picked up on our mics.
Wow,
she's good at that. Shout out to Alana.
What was that? What's the guy's name? Booger in Revenge of the Nerds. I mean, that's a burp.
That might be our first Revenge of the Nerds shout.
I think so. We're doing
done.
We're doing all sorts of new things on this pod.
Oh, it's
we did Herbie
diversity.
Hancock last episode.
Oh, really?
We did.
Were you headhunting or what?
Wow. These music references, I like it.
I love it.
Anyway, back to your story.
Yeah, so we I decided let's just do dinner for 8 and see how it goes. And it's all prepay. And so here we are. This is our 10th year doing it.
10 years.
Yeah. And it's kind of it's my concept of a restaurant because we still travel quite a bit, sans pandemic. But that being said, it's all prepay and you don't know what the menu is. Until if you have
a mystery menu.
Yeah.
I like it.
And
I'm so intrigued.
And it's one of those things. It's like it's my event too, and so you don't get to order. So if you have allergies or food restrictions, let me know, and I can typically work around them. But if you're a vegan, I can't cook for you in March or April because I don't have anything fresh.
Right.
Come in like July or August, and I can knock it out of the park. But once I talk to my farmer each week, I figure out what's fresh, and then I create a menu around it.
I love that idea.
And you're here for literally like 3.5 hours. So, I write the menu on the board. I had a group that just flew in from Boston and Philly last Tuesday night. And one of my friends used to live here. Now she's in Indianapolis. And, they're like, so where the hell are we going? Because you're driving through here, and Lenexa is kind of not
not a hub.
Yeah, and I love Old Town. But then, the people
they're
come
just driving
in
the
and,
trail.
Yeah, just driving, in convenience and style. So, but they came in and they were just like, they were such a chill group. I loved them. And
that's a nice menu.
Yeah, you get a lot of food.
Yeah, for those who can't see.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
We're
looking at the menu on the board. So this was a group that just came.
Yeah, they flew in.
That's a big menu.
So, and it used to be a lot bigger. And that's what I tell people. The biggest critique over, even now, is way too much food. But honestly, don't we all hate it when you go out and you have a 5-course tasting menu or you eat something special and then you're like, well, shit, are we going to stop by Town Topic on the way home or eat leftover spaghetti? And I hate it. So here we have to-goes, and if you don't bring your own to-goes, then Teresa has all these sour cream and cottage cheese containers, and that's what you pack it up in. Big reuse.
I love that. I love that you bring your own to-go containers.
Well, it's like when you go to
That's
somebody's
fantastic.
cookout or somebody's dinner,
right?
They get the old Cool Whip container and put that shit in
That's
there.
what we have those as well. Yes.
What's in was that Cool Whip?
No,
that's corn salad.
No.
Right.
Surprise! 2 weeks later in the fridge, you got a science project going on.
That's mixed greens.
So what's it like when people come in and because this is an unusual space? It's probably, unless you really can't describe it. It's all, what it reminds me of?
It's a shotgun shack.
A shotgun house.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You come in and,
This is probably for you. You spend a lot of time in New Orleans.
Right.
Yeah.
This reminds me of some of those.
That's where I was going. It reminds me of that.
Walking in.
So you come in and you're like, okay, what's going on here?
Oh, you're somewhere between awestruck and appalled. I've had clients, they're just like, what the hell is this?
This is the kind of place, where I walk in and I'm like, because it's a little bit of chaos.
Yeah.
And that's how I know.
Yeah. But it's cool.
That's how I know the food's probably going to be pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
No,
if there's a little fear, the restaurant's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
When I first time I walked in there, I was like, oh, yeah, I can hang out here for sure.
Yeah.
It's one of those places.
It's fun to it's fun to watch the memories come up on Facebook. So I'm like, oh, shit, we didn't have any artwork up at that time because we like to hang local artists and sell their stuff. And I was like, oh, we didn't have the bottles on the little ledge. And, it's with the pandemic, we started our pantry items, and then the laws changed in Kansas last year, so we started a wine club.
Yeah, and
it's just I was sitting on the couch the other day. I have the most ugliest couch, but it is so damn comfortable. And I sit here and I look at my big chalkboard, and I'll sometimes brainstorm, and I started laughing. I'm like, what the hell? What else can I fit in this damn space? And the landlord loves it. Landlord's cool as hell. And I've been in the space in here 12 years. Never raised the rent.
Beautiful.
And just a cool dude. And he'll pop in every now and then, and he's like, hey, I just want to grab a beer and catch up. And I love this space. I love what you've done here. You made it cool.
Yeah.
And it is. There's
very,
there's a lot of stuff going on.
But it's very comfortable. You walk in and you're like, oh yeah, I could hang out here.
Yeah, and you do when you come to the
you're hanging
dinners
out for dinner.
Yeah, it's definitely not fast food.
So what was our guesses on this ABV?
Like 5.3, somewhere in there.
5.1 and 5.3, I believe, were our guesses.
I think it's 5. Did you find it?
Yeah, I looked it up on Untappd.
What is it?
Actual retail ABV 5.3
Wow!
Well done,
look
fellas.
at that!
Well
Ding,
done.
ding, ding, ding.
I love
ding,
how you
ding.
guys had the range. Right? You can't do that shit on Prices Right.
And we didn't even know it was
I
Kolsch.
thought he said 5.3. I said 5, and you said 5.1.
But you can't.
You kind of just said two numbers at once.
I said two numbers. I said 5-1 or 5-3.
No, you informed him to do it. Now he thinks it's it's legal.
I'm not the boss of him.
You know what? After he has this rum cake, you might be. It is episode 69. Nice.
Finish up with a stout. You might end up on the
There
couch.
you go. Yeah. So this is the first episode we've drank wine.
Of course.
So tell us about this wine that this rosé.
So I just got it in on Friday, and I mean, the supply chain things are crazy right now. And I love rosé, and we've been drinking rosé for 12 years, 13 years. And at one point on my wine list, I had, I think, 9 different rosés, which is silly. There's no reason to have 9 different rosés for an 8-seat restaurant. And but I finally tasted them. This is the first time I tasted them literally on Friday. And typically I would taste in January and then put a pre-order in, and then I would have them in like April. But with supply chain, it's just been crazy. This one is from Provence, and it's beautiful light color. The flavor is just incredible. It's light.
Yeah,
it does its job. It needs a little food, but I always look at like well-made wines, kind of like background music. It just does its job.
Right.
You don't notice it. It just flows, and it complements everything.
Yeah, it's very unassuming, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, wow, look at you. Finesse.
That's a great way to put it, though.
Very
Like,
finessing.
good wine.
Yeah.
It's like good background.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
like
it's just
that.
like it's good, but it's not like
It's not the star of the show.
no.
No, but it's a contributing factor. It's kind of like jazz or like a jam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's
And-
like that. Sometimes you don't hear the bass in a song. You know what I'm saying?
Until you do.
But it's there,
But
right?
if
You
you
know
take it
what I'm
out, it's ruined.
saying?
Yeah.
Exactly. No, it's
Yeah.
really tasty. I appreciate it reminds me. Shout out to my boy Brad from Malibu. He's really not from Malibu, but whatever. I'm shouting him out because he and I rolled up in here and. Immediately when we met,
probably had
Craig
wine
and
open that
Teresa,
day.
Yeah, we did all the things. It was such an interesting afternoon for us. We rolled out here like, fuck, that was fun.
Yeah. And you didn't even have to do any dishes.
Well, we didn't. I know we probably had some glasses, but that was about it. We didn't generate any dishes, so there was that.
Yeah, no, it's cool. And a lot of people, it's my take on a casual chef's table.
Yeah.
Here. And with the wine, with the food, I love it when clients and customers and friends are like, well, shit, I can do that. It's like, well, yeah, you can. I mean, it's simple. Just don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
It's like most things in life.
How was it setting up all those relationships with local farmers and stuff? Did you just start reaching out to people? Did you go hit your farmer's market?
Farmer's market, and then you kind of latch on to a couple of people, and then, you start talking to one farmer, and you're like, hey, I'm looking for Suffolk lambs. They're like, oh, I don't graze those, but I got a friend that you might want to reach out to. And then, and I'm friends with a lot of chefs around town. And I've been in the food industry for like 20 years. So it's changed a little bit, right? I'm like one of the old people now, to where it's like I just want to remain relevant. And, I don't want to be the cool kid anymore. But I want to do it my way. And one thing, the older you get and the nicer you are, the more cool people you meet.
Yeah.
And
Rule number 2.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
yeah, it's
Good karma.
good karma. And karma's fun. I love it when people are mean, and it's like, okay, enjoy your dance with karma. And no cake for you.
Yes.
Those are my
I wonder if that's a beer name. Enjoy your dance with karma.
God, you would think it probably will be now.
Yeah,
Just put that in the list.
I have a list of about 200 beer names that some shit comes out on the podcast or out of certain circumstances. I'm like, that's gonna be a good beer name.
Yeah, you should get the .coms.
You
can make some money.
I think it's too late for the .coms, isn't it?
I had a guy in from DC that was here, and he's a crazy great musician, and he has a corporate job, but he just sold a .com. This is 2 years ago. Sold a .com for $20,000.
Nice.
And if you're a big corporation, 20 grand's
nothing.
it's a write-off.
Nothing.
So
So you mentioned 2 out-of-towners. How often are you getting people from out of town coming here?
so far this year we've had 3. Last year we had 5 or 6 different events, and I make you buy all 8 seats.
Right.
But before the pandemic, you could come 1 or 2 people. But like last year, we had people from Scottsdale, we had Naples, we had Oklahoma City, we had DC, we had
You said
Napa,
Naples,
Florida.
Oh, I thought Naples.
Yeah. That'd be pretty badass.
I was like, real Naples? What the fuck?
that'd be really cool. But yeah, we had like LA, we had Napa.
Wow.
And it's just cool. And my wine list is pretty legit, and it's very, very underpriced. I mean, for 8 seats, I have 100 bottle selections. So I mean yeah. And it's kind of cool because now my beer selections, because you came in, you're a badass beer guy, and you were like, I've never heard of this. What the?
No, it was all
sour cherries.
Yeah,
what the hell?
Dude, he had
and
some
Bodor,
shit.
what the hell?
Yeah, I was like, what is? I had literally every beer we had here. I was like, never heard of it.
I like that it's a combination of you try to stay very, very local with your food.
Yeah.
But then you've reached out with your drinks
You almost
to bring
have
a lot of great stuff in.
Yeah.
And I like that because, especially, Nigel's a beer guy. He knows everybody in town. He's been to their places.
Yeah.
So if you have a bunch of this other stuff, it's kind of new experiences coming with it.
Have you done Red Sash yet?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Teresa. So, my names are escaping me. I mean, this happens when you get old.
Red Sash is a brewery down in the Crossroads.
Allison's the boss, but her husband is the one that's there.
Yeah.
And God, I can't remember his name.
Me neither.
Killing me.
I've met him a couple of times. I don't remember either. Sorry.
Teresa mentored Allison. They both went to West Point. Teresa mentored Allison before she went to West Point.
Wow.
And then I sent her rum cakes all throughout.
No shit.
Yeah, so pretty damn cool.
Rum cake
are you both West Point alum?
No, she is. I was ROTC. So, and then I was always National Guard, which, Teresa's like, it's like the Boy Scouts without guns. Or Boy Scout with guns. So
I like that there's that little competition in there.
But, it's cool because I got all the cool assignments.
That's true.
I got to go to Germany. I got to go to Panama, which is where the rum cakes came from, initially the concept. And just all over the nation. So it's cool.
Well, let's do that then.
Yeah.
Panama is where the rum cake came from for you.
Yeah.
So what's that story? What is it? What was about Panama that said, I'm going to make rum cakes the rest of my life?
It was kind of the catalyst before I even knew. So I was at the Bridge of Americas in Panama City. It was an Army and Navy base combined. They closed at 4:30 because it was run by civilians. So I was right next to the Bridge of Americas, like literally an eighth of a mile from the canal. So I'd sit there and just watch all these big ships go by. And I was down for 30 days. And so I got like crazy great assignments. And so I went into this liquor store and I was like, hey, I just need something to sit and sip on and watch these ships go by. And so they're like, oh, try this Barbancourt 4-year. And I'm like, all right, which is a Haitian rum. Nice rum. I was like, okay, cool. So I sat there, and I wasn't a huge drinker back then, but I sat there and had a little bit. And then I brought the bottle home. Well, fast forward, 3 years later, that was in 95. And in 97 or 98, Teresa's mom, Jude, which is named after Judy, is named after, I named the rum cake after her because she used to always make them for me. And so she asked me, what do you want for your dessert? And I was like, cheese? I don't know. I don't really eat dessert. I don't like sweets. And she's like, well, you're getting something. I was like, let's do a rum cake. And I have no idea where that came from. And she's like, okay, well, I think we have like an old family recipe or Betty Crocker or something. And so she's like, let me look, but I don't have any rum. I'm like, oh, I've got the rum. So
there you go.
I gave her the bottle of rum. She made it. And all of us were just kind of like, wow, this was really freaking good.
Yeah.
And then I started catering in early 2000, trying to cater. People wouldn't want to pay my prices, and it's a lot of freaking work.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crap food out there. I hate crap food. So people started wanting a dessert. So the dessert was the rum cake. So then the rum cake started getting the spotlight over the barbecue. I was always a barbecue guy having to make a rum cake. And then the rum cake started taking the spotlight. So I'm like, shit, I guess I'm a rum cake guy that happens to barbecue. And then Karma happened, and we got invited to cook for barbecue at South Beach, Food and Wine. And it's like badass with like all the big names. And I'm like, who the hell are you, So then I was like, shit, I'm just a wine drinker that happens to barbecue and make a cake. And then, and I left. And so we had a splash in the media, like in New York and in LA for the rum cake. So Jude she was working at the time. She'd stay up to like 2 and 3 in the morning baking these damn cakes for me. And we'd ship them over, and we were getting all this press, but we were making no freaking money.
Yeah.
And so then 2008, I left, and my wife's like, well, you need to figure out how to you're going to start baking. So I did. And so, yeah, I have one assistant, and she and I knock it out. If you come back in the December months, I mean, it's mayhem in here. It's high tide and low tide.
So is this is not open at all during that time? No,
I don't do the restaurant anymore.
You can't.
There's no way. And it sucks because I love doing lazy lunches, especially corporate. And but I could make $1,500, $1,800 at lunch. Well, I could have baked $2,500 in cakes. Yeah. So, and then you have to totally shift gears back from production and manufacturing to hospitality,
Right.
and I don't have anything fresh. And that's kind of what we've been known for, is supporting local and fresh. And like typically when we do the restaurant, I go and pick the beets or the carrots or the turnips that morning.
Wow.
And it's not crap, It's
I love that. That's how you're building the menu, though, too. Is based
Yeah.
on what am I going to get.
Yeah. And so it stresses me out a little bit, but it keeps me real and keeps me active as well. And then to even add another layer of stress, I always have charcoal going in the back.
Let's just add
Because-
another layer.
Because charcoal, you're not the boss of charcoal.
No.
And I always have charcoal going. And somebody told me, they asked me one time, they were like, well, what if you burn the tenderloin? Or what if you burn it? I'm like, well, I'm not going to burn it. I was like, but, oh, shit, I guess that sucks. I guess we'd have to go to Jerry's next door and get pizza. And I'd have to give some money back.
So how, after all these years, you named the rum cake after her, but what was it like? You say, I'm going to name the rum cakes after you.
Well, it was just always known as Jude's Rum Cake. Because Jude would make the cakes. And
so it was just kind of her name. And, okay.
Yeah.
And de facto.
Yeah, and I had a pretty high end. They were a marketing firm, and they wanted a branding firm, and so they came in. They were like, "Hey, let's brand you. Let's trade out. We'll trade out cakes over like a 2-year period for this."
That sounds like a terrible deal for you.
I know.
When cake becomes currency.
Yeah, cake is currency.
Not Bitcoin. We're going to trade in rum cakes.
But they pitched me on like 3 things, and I was like, "This just doesn't work." And I told them, at the end of it, I told them, I was like, we should have probably had a couple of bottles of wine together and just get to know each other. Because when I told them what I was looking for, I'm like, I want to just be somewhere in between, and I'm a big music guy, so I wanted to be somewhere in between the Roots, like early 90s, and Wu-Tang. So, it's just kind of, and they were like,
I'm just picturing that juxtaposition in my head,
right? And throwing a little Burt Bacharach, and there you go. And there's the damn cake. How hard is it?
I love it. That's a mashup for sure.
Yeah, but it's always neat. Like when we do the dinners, also I always have my music going, and people are like, "Oh, what station is this?" Or what's I don't do Spotify. I don't do any of that stuff. It's all my old CDs, and I trade out with record labels too. So I send rum cakes or barbecue to them, and then they actually send me like CDs or vinyl or whatnot.
No shit.
Yeah,
That's
and at
awesome.
home, at home we have like probably 2,500 albums, and I try to listen to. Goal is 20 hours a week because it slows you down.
Yeah.
We're in such a sensory society right now.
You remember back in the day, whether it be records or cassettes or whatever, and you would sit and put headphones on and listen to music.
Yeah, just big old like these.
It's different from having like earbuds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I still have these when I travel.
Yeah, and back in the day, you had to plug them shits in. You had to plug it into something.
Yeah.
And you're tethered. You can't go anywhere.
Yeah, so you're sitting there listening, man.
It's an investment to listen to a whole album.
Well,
right, to sit down and like I'm gonna go through this album.
Yeah, but it's also a respect.
Time, but it's great.
It's a respect to the artist. And right now, it's like we're going to play it until it becomes popular. And it's kind of bullshit, It's like
you're right. You're like, God damn, I heard that song like 12 times today. You know what I'm saying?
Listening to Stevie Wonder the other day, and I'm just like, what the hell? I've never heard this song, or why have I? Why this is an awesome song.
Yeah, I was doing some Earth, Wind, and Fire yesterday. I was like, I forgot about that song.
It's crazy, right?
Just I did Earth, Wind, and Fire radio. I was like, holy shit, I forgot about these great songs.
Yeah, and they're badasses.
Yes. I mean, a fucking band. You know what I'm saying?
We threw on some Prince recently.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, a lot of times now I just, I go on iTunes, I hit a song, and I say, create station, right?
Yeah.
So just algorithms it. But sometimes you forget, you're like, oh, that's a whole damn story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That album's a story.
You know what we're forgetting? To drink beer. What the hell? You guys suck at this.
Wait a minute.
Mystery. We love you, Brady.
So, look, he's starting to produce the show, apparently. He's like,
well, look, after 69 episodes, somebody's got it.
I'm just surprised the SEC still letting you do this.
We're hoping. So you get to pick the next beer again since you're the guest of honor.
Oh.
That's a glass, because I thought maybe Teresa would be here.
Oh, yeah. No, she has a real job. That's why I can afford to do this.
Yeah.
So.
Thank you, Sugar Wives.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
Some more beer karma. That's from...
Underwater Panther, triple IPA with honey.
Oh.
So
Let's get in there.
Underwater Panther. I feel like this is the Zoolander of beers.
I feel like it's that.
Look at that color.
Who's the sexy guy that played Aquaman? I feel like
Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
I was thinking Patrick. What's his face from the show?
Well, you're older.
From the Legion of Dune, the cartoon one.
No, this is definitely some beer karma. I was working at shout out to Grains and Taps.
Oh, good.
And a friend of mine, she lives in Milwaukee.
I can't guess on this. I saw the alcohol.
Well,
because it's really big.
Well, that's what she said.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't. So she drove down from Minnesota or Wisconsin. I was like, "Did you bring some beer?" She said, "Yeah, I got some in my trunk." And so she gave me a bunch of those.
Is there style here?
There's a double IPA.
Triple.
Ooh, you like Big Boy?
Triple your pleasure.
That'd be a long time.
Boy, I'm not a huge fan of that kind of weird tinny thing going on.
That's good though.
But it
takes you on a ride.
It doesn't taste like a triple.
No.
It doesn't taste that big.
Yeah.
Dare I say? Well, I mean, I'm gonna say because you saw the ABV and it's a triple. Yeah. It's probably 9%. What do you think, Nick?
I was gonna go a little bit higher. We'll go 9.6.
Wow.
What's the actual retail ABV?
10.4.
Whoa. Oh.
Yeah, this will put you down for the count.
We're down for the couch.
Or it'll make you order more.
Well, right. I mean that's the beauty of the beer karma. You know, you get to share it. I would never drink that by myself.
I don't know if you could.
I mean, if I was sitting at home, it would be a sipper.
Oh yeah,
you know,
over a period of time.
Yeah, it would probably take me 40 minutes to drink because obviously this is one of those that since it's a dark IPA, when it gets warmer, it's going to change.
Oh yeah, totally.
You know what I'm saying? So, but that's a good beer, and I had never heard of this brewery before, but they're doing some the Fermentorium out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Shamil Shemimel.
Thanks, Laverne.
Yeah. No, that's really good. That's a nice beer. Uh-oh. Craig's going to the cooler.
Uh-oh.
So the Jude's Rum Cake Imperial Stout that he pulled out of the cooler, I have questions, and I'm sure you have answers.
Now's the time on the show when we ask questions.
Man, the hits keep on coming.
Yeah. How many years have you done this?
This is the first year.
No shit.
Yeah.
What was the response like? Because I know when I saw it came out. And how much did they brew?
So initially they were going to do, what was they going to do? Like 2, maybe 4 of the little bitty barrels.
Yeah.
And or the kegs or tanks or whatever they call them. And then they sold out. They did 12-ounce cans and asked them to do a run for me of 30 of these. And then I sold out before, within 2 days.
Well, you just did pre-order, didn't you?
Yeah.
And they were all gone, yeah.
Yeah, and so they did 100 of these for me. And I'm down to, I think, 7 in the back.
Oh, wow.
And so, and it was fun. And everybody that's tried it has loved it.
So I'm guessing you've had it.
Oh, yeah.
And how would you describe it?
It's truly, it's a stout, but it also has the nuances of the rum cake in there.
Gotcha.
The barley wine that he did was on a different level.
Really?
That could be the second best beer I've ever had in my life. It was to that level. But
wow.
I would think that's a hard tightrope to walk.
What's that?
To get that rum cake flavor in it, but not go too far.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
And I know I'm the rookie. I've only brewed once. I don't know a lot about that side of things, but to not go too sweet, too desserty.
Well, we as Americans, we do that, right? A little's great. Oh, a lot's going to be even better. And,
yes.
case in point, they had a Skittles beer. And Emily was like, oh, you need to try the Skittles beer. And I'm like, no, thank you. No.
You didn't even want to try it.
And so then I went into
I'd go there.
I
think we have gone there.
I mean, I would try it. I wouldn't drink a lot of it.
I respect them a lot. But I'm just I don't like kitschy. I don't like color by the number. I don't like band of the month type. I don't like all that kind of stuff. And so I went in the next time and I'm like, why don't you just pick something for me? And she's like, okay. And she picked this. I was like, "God, this is really good. What is this? This is the Skittle beer that you won't order." so it was like, okay. It was like, you're a badass.
And then you go, damn it, why are you always right?
Right. I can get this at home. I don't need this here.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. That's a good beer.
I do like this.
Yeah.
It's well made. There's so many different layers going on.
Yeah. And it's, again, one of those, if you let it warm up a little bit,
yeah,
it'll probably do some other things. So So what's your, you've got quite the rum selection and whiskeys and things like that. Is there, let's go rum. Is there something that maybe a few that you're like, these are, that you gravitate towards? Like,
yeah, there's, like, I always love, Teresa and I went to Cuba in 2017. And it was specifically for rum research because I was getting ready to start making our rum, and I wanted to get some flavor profiles.
Rum research,
right?
So it's funny.
We got to go to Cuba. Nobody really wants to go, but it's for rum research.
Well, and it was funny because when we were at the customs, they were like, people to people, put it on your. I was like, no, it's actually professional research, and they're like, no, it's people to people. I'm like, no, here's my letter from the Treasury Department. It's, and they're like, oh, wow. And so then we got in. So then two friends are like, well, I want to go to Cuba.
Exactly.
So one was like, well, I'm going to be your controller. And then the other's like, I'm going to be your accountant. And so I was like, okay. And it actually is really, really good. I mean, the rum and the cigars are that much better.
Yeah.
So especially the rum.
Yeah.
But the Cuban rum is on a different level. Everybody always has a Habana Club, but the Santiago, the 11-year, is the shit. And it's like $11 a bottle, if that.
Wow.
It's crazy. And then I love Venezuelan rum. There's one Santa Teresa, 1796. And it's freaking insanely good. And then I did some private cakes for Bacardi, for the regional, like, whatever manager he was of the Midwest. So he's like, hey, I want you to do some rum cakes for me. He goes, what's your criteria? And I'm like, well, I just can't use shitty product. I'm not going to. I'm not using
You can't use Bacardi?
And so he's like, what are you thinking? And I was like, well, I'm not going to use the freaking entry level stuff.
Right.
I mean, let's step it up. So we used their 8-year. And he actually gave me a bottle of the 10, the 8, and then, the 4. And I made cakes to try, and I'm like, the 8's it, which Ocho. I mean, maybe it wasn't, but it was. So we did that a couple of years for
AKA Cinco.
Yeah, Cinco.
So you used the 5-year.
So we used it, yeah, the 5-year looking like an 8. And it was great.
It's just one little thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's why I have an erase board, a chalkboard. But it was actually really good. And he gave it to like his clients, and he gave it to his like his liquor stores and stuff like that. And it promoted. And so I liked their 8-year. And then he was in here one time. His name's Jeff, and he's in a band. He plays around town. But he's like, hey, I've got this for you. And he gave me their limited rum. And it's like $150 a bottle. And he's like, I can't sell it. He goes, nobody's freaking buying rum. I mean, people buy rum, but nobody really buys rum. People look at Scotch.
It doesn't have the same market as the bourbons. And yeah.
It's been the next big thing for the last 20 years. Yeah. It never comes. So for me, it's kind of fun because when people come in, they're like, oh, you got some rum. We should taste some rum. And I'm like, okay, because it's one of those things like, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. And then before you know it, you revisit stuff. And then you're like,
right.
Oh, well, if you like this, now we have to try this one. And before you know it, it's like, shit, I've got like half a bottle of rum.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And the trains are going by, and the music's playing, the wine's open. Yeah. You're like, get me out of here. It's like Fear and Loathing in Lenexa.
I think
that's a different movie.
I think
that's a whole different movie.
I think Limitless should do a beer called that.
Right? So
I'll let you guys have that. It's fine.
Yeah, but no, I like it. Kirk and Sweeney's pretty fun. This Old New Orleans, this is probably the most unique rum that I've ever had. And it's a spice rum from Old New Orleans. And if you put it in the freezer and you put it in a little tumbler glass during Christmas, you smell it during the holidays, it smells just like Snickerdoodle. It's like Christmas in a glass.
Cajun spice.
Oh, you know what? I think I have a new official drink of the holiday season for this year.
Yeah.
This year it was the that just came out, the Bronson's Milk Punch.
Oh yeah,
was my official holiday drink of the year.
I don't know how you can't refrigerate that once you open it, but are you supposed to?
I didn't try that. But
it's the blue. It's a blue bottle, right?
Yeah,
yeah. It's a cool product.
It's cool local product.
Is that the Lee Summit shit?
Yeah.
Run on.
Yeah. There's another one called like Milk Wine or Milk something. It's another local guy has. It's like a wine, but it's not.
I haven't tried that.
I don't know what the hell it is. I keep seeing it, and I'm like, I don't know about.
But Old New Orleans.
Old New Orleans.
Yeah. The Nick's official holiday drink.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
Now you know.
I tell you what. Leave the table at home. Come here and do some dishes. I'll let you sleep on the couch and feed you all this you care for.
I can scrub some pots and pans.
Okay. Come on back. Yeah, but no, rum's always kind of fun, and it's never received the respect that it should. And I honestly think we're the only people in Kansas City making rum.
I wonder if that's because
I don't know any distillers making rum.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's though because rum is a gateway spirit, right?
Maybe.
Is it?
I think so. I think a lot of people can get in there because there's
I think a lot of people are scared of it.
the cheaper rums.
Oh yeah, the shit
are
horrible.
they're sweeter,
Yeah.
and so it kind of gets people in, and so I wonder if then they're like, well, I'm a grown up now, so I'm
like
going to
the
go bourbon
Malibus
or
and
Scotch.
I think
you know what I mean. So I wonder if people feel like they grow out of rum because there are some great rums.
There's some
out there, but I think I feel like once people start drinking spirits, all of a sudden they're like, I don't want rum. That's for the newbies.
I think whiskey is one of those things where it's just cool right now because everybody's making it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
it's kind of
it's marketable.
Yeah,
I mean, you look at Pappy and you look at what's the one with a little horse on top?
Union Horse.
Yeah.
No,
it's expensive as fuck.
Blanton's.
Yeah.
And you can't get it.
Right,
And Old Pappy, it's like, what the hell?
Well, and there are great. I love.
And there's
I love
some great
a good
ones.
bourbon. There are great bourbons and great whiskeys out there. But I think you're right. I think sometimes rum gets the bad rap. But I just always wonder if that's because it's the gateway, and people feel like, well, once you're over 25,
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't drink it. But I'll tell you,
if it means more for me, and the fact that look, when was the last time really, other than maybe the few and far between really good bottles that you spent over $50 or $60 for a bottle of rum?
Yeah, I'm different. I'm not your target market.
No, but I mean, like you can get.
But most people won't.
You can get good rums.
Yeah.
In that price range.
Yeah. Oh, you can get great rum. Like there was a peddler in here, and we tried
peddler?
some.
Was he from the 1840s? What the fuck?
You're on the Santa Fe Trail.
It had the really big wheel in the front, the tiny wheel in the back.
Yeah, carpetbagger or no?
Yeah, exactly.
But he had a rum from Colombia, from the country, and I'm like, I've never had a Colombian rum, and so we tried it, and it was an 8-year and a 12-year, and these are really good rum selections, but those made it for the house. And it was really, really good. And, and they're doing the right things. They're donating 10% of their profit. For every bottle, it's not 10%, for every bottle that this Parse is what it's called, for every bottle they sell, they plant a tree.
Oh.
And it's
cool.
just
Great.
it's kind of cool. So, but yeah, rum just never gets the respect.
Yeah.
They're kind of they never get invited to the cool
Speaking
party.
of rum, you ready to take a bite of that rum cake? Because you've never had it.
Does a fat baby fart?
Yeah.
No,
not on air.
On this show, they would.
I want Nick to have the first bite because he's never had it.
Well, and then save a little bit because I want you to try it with the rum cake beer.
Oh.
Okay.
To see if it pairs. And if it doesn't, we'll go back to David and I'll have him reimburse me for all of those beers.
He's going in.
Oh, it's fun. I like the little cute piece you're cutting.
Yeah.
Well, I can't get.
Oh, you're terrible.
Yeah.
So Nick just took a bite. There you go.
Yeah. Don't say you're allergic to pecans.
This is the bite you're supposed to take, Nick.
Yeah. Big. Mine just fell apart. Oh, how cute.
That is fantastic.
It's the best rum cake here.
So moist.
So
I feel like it's the only one in Kansas City.
yeah.
You know what I like too is that tastes like not all the alcohol cooked out.
Yeah.
Which is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it's called a rum. It's called a rum cake.
No, that's not. I told you my mother's Appleton.
No.
It didn't cook out.
That's what I'm saying. That's
the point.
That's the way to do it.
That tastes like I just took a shot.
Nah, not really. We could do a shot, but
after show.
That is great. And
you still get the rum out of it. It's very prominent. Doesn't mean you're going to get drunk off it. Don't be afraid, kids.
Yeah, you'll have a sugar coma.
Here's what I like too, and this is where my wife is wrong. I'm not allowed to say that very often, but she does not.
How big you are right now?
Yeah.
It's
all the drinks.
She doesn't listen to the show. It's fine.
She doesn't like the pecans.
Oh, see, that's sad. Pecans are expensive, and they're really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But
I like that you're doing the farm in Nevada.
Yeah, some people actually cut that top layer off, which is insane.
Yeah. That's where all the good stuff soaks.
Yeah, because what happens, like the old school rum cakes, they actually would pour it over, put the cheesecloth on top, and then pour it over for like 30 days.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could catch your house on fire with it. And with mine, I put rum in the.
I like it.
It's crazy. I put rum in the batter. I bake it. So theoretically, the alcohol comes cooks out.
Theoretically.
And then I do a simple syrup. And I put rum in that. And then it cooks out. And then when it comes out, double your pleasure, double your pain.
double your
pain, whatever, yeah. And then...
Rum for her pleasure.
And then you let it sit, you let it absorb, and then the next day I vacuum seal it.
What I like too is that like you get that moist rum in every part of the cake. There's not a dry part and a moist part. It's all there.
And I think that's the key. Because when I remember as growing up, when my mom making those cakes, they were so dense and so moist. I know people hate that word. Mm-hmm. Fuck, that's delicious.
Wrong.
Fuck, that's delicious.
Yeah. When it comes to cake, love that word.
No, I mean that's delicious. I think we should. I would love to try crack this beer and have a little taste with that.
Which one's the cold one?
This one right here, sir.
Okay, there. You know how to operate one of those?
Probably. It takes two hands.
Have you poured beers before?
Not this year.
So you don't know how to operate that?
Well, I do. You know I do with one. You turned me off.
I thought you were gonna.
There you go.
That. Look at
that's well played. So you're a professional. I'm not. You know
I play one on TV.
So now we're trying the Jude's Rum Cake Imperial Stout.
Watch the head.
Phrasing.
Yes, tilt. This will be fun. I haven't had this in probably 2 months.
Well, I've never had it, so there's that.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
Did you spill?
That's all right. That's all right. You're not paying for this.
We're in a restaurant. He's got things.
Yeah, this with the cake will be kind of fun to see.
Yeah.
Radio silence.
Oh my God. The nose on that thing.
Audience, you're gonna have to wait a second.
We're going. Should we go to break?
A special thank you to our sponsors.
Right.
Silence.
Right. Just the nose on that is beautiful.
David's a badass. I won't say he's the best beer person in Kansas City, but he is definitely. I think. He's up there.
That's got a little kick to it right there.
Yeah. Well, What do you think the ABV on this is?
Oh, high. That's what I'm going to do.
I'm going to need a moment.
God, isn't that good?
Okay, I just took a bite of the cake. Mm-hmm. I'm going to taste it with rum.
And see, on the palate, on the mid and back palate, you start picking up some of those like rum cake nuances. I think that's the 15th, 16th, 25th cake that David put in the barrel. Those go great together. Right? Yeah, it should be a yearly thing.
The stout, especially when you do it with the cake, it just bursts with like chocolate.
Boom, right?
It's like if you took that rum cake and poured some fucking chocolate, but some hot, actual chocolate, not hot chocolate mix or anything.
That is a perfect pairing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Right?
Because the beer changes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad you said something about it being too cold or changing, because I would have left it in the freezer probably too long. And even at room temp, this is freaking insane.
Yeah. I think the other ones we have, right, because that's a little cold for my taste.
Yeah.
But we let that, because you know what happened, Nick.
What happened was
that, and for those who are not watching on TV, because we're not on TV,
and we don't have a camera turned on. So for those everyone who's not watching,
you may be under surveillance.
It's right. It's a bomber, so you know what that means. We have to drink the whole bottle before we leave.
Well, yeah.
So he did.
Wow, look at that.
Him. He was like, "Oh, yeah."
You're not impressing me. People were like, "I can get me out of this damn place."
Yeah. I brought one of those batting helmets with I can put a bottle on each side. It's got the straw. I'm good to go.
Can we get one of those branded with Beers with Nigel? Can we do that? That would be awesome. Just a batting Beers with Nigel helmet. I love it.
All right, we're gonna have to activate research mode this week.
Research mode activate. That's fun. One thing David did say, he said he was light on the carbonation, and I kind of dig that a lot because it doesn't the beer and plus it's been in the bottle for 6 months, so
it's aging well.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? Longevity of this?
I think you could probably, if it sat in the bottle, stouts are perfect for just letting. I'm not a cellar person. I'm gonna I have some bottles that are a year old, but I'm not. It's not on purpose. I haven't gotten to them. But something like that, you could sit for several years; it'd be fine.
Really?
Absolutely.
So? Wow.
As long as it didn't get hot.
Yeah.
You keep beers because they're shareables, and you're waiting for the moment to share.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a Black is Beautiful from Weathered Souls, which is an imperial stout that pretty much changed the world when they put this beer out, and it's almost 2 years old. Wow. But I'm waiting for the particular moment, which is actually coming up this weekend.
Oh, nice.
Actually, shout out to Tony DiPlacido at Windshift Brewing. It's his 3rd year anniversary coming this weekend.
Oh, how fun.
And I wanted to crack it open with him before, but he got the COVIDs. Yeah. And so he lost his taste buds were all fucked up at one point, and he brews the beer, and all the shit was tasting like salt. I'm like, is your palate back together? We're not going to waste this beer.
He said mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say mostly. So I think this will be the weekend. But no, this is one of those you could just let sit, even just at room temperature, and then crack it open, and that motherfucker will be great.
Oh yeah,
that's a really good beer.
Yeah, it's like chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Without the milk.
Yeah. And I might fuck around and pour that on top of that rum cake.
I was considering a dip.
Were you really?
I was thinking about it. I might have to try a little dip.
A little cereal bowl. Little cereal bowl.
That's so
You don't need to watch.
Yeah. I won't judge.
I mean, it is show 69.
Nice.
Find that dark corner and that guilty smile.
He just described my life.
Yeah, pretty nice. So,
no, that beer is really, really fabulous.
Good.
I'm kind of glad I waited to get mine.
Yeah, I am too. I'm glad I had one for you.
But it's one of those. well, sir, I'd already paid for it, so
that doesn't matter.
You would
just like the library.
Yeah,
I'm going to charge you a fine.
It's over. You're going to start charging me for the storage of the beer.
Storage fee.
Yeah, it was funny because we had such incredible demand at the beginning, and then at the end, I'm like, oh shit, do I have enough? And so I started counting, and I'm like, okay, it looks like I have like 8 extras. But then I'm like double checking and triple checking my list, and I've only so it was you and it's one other, my buddy Justin, that hasn't picked his up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here comes the train.
Yeah, here comes the train. They come by so often you don't even notice them. Name that movie.
I don't know.
I don't know that one.
Jake and Elwood.
Oh, dang it.
Making toast with a coat hanger.
I missed the Blues Brothers reference.
You did.
But like we both did.
You did.
I like how you're trying to pass that off. It's just me.
I totally missed it. I'm so used to when trains come, the horn.
Right.
Where I live in downtown Lee Summit.
Yeah.
I'm right by the track. So
this just stopped. So they have this is like, what is it called? Like a silent zone. So
they got because they got the double barriers.
Yeah.
Who paid for that?
The city.
No shit.
We can't make that happen yet.
Well,
we've tried.
This is the thing that I've learned about the Kansas side, because those things are $1 million.
In Lenexa, we get shit done.
Yeah.
This is the Santa Fe Trail.
Oh yeah, right. It's big money out here. So Lee Summit could do it, but the city has to pay for it. They're like, fuck that.
Yeah.
They'd much rather pay for other bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, not.
And I don't mind that at this point. I
live downtown too. I don't notice it that much anymore.
There's 38 trains a day. I don't really give a shit. And I like the sound of trains personally.
Yeah, I like all the graffiti. Like,
oh yeah,
these really don't, but it's kind of cool watching all that.
You get some weird shit.
Yeah, and then if you're ever downtown, like when I'm downtown picking up something from one of my suppliers, and I drive, I'll see the train there, and then I'll come here and park and walk in, and there it comes by. So
it's like an encore.
Yeah, it's like, this is awesome. I was sitting here drinking one night with a guy, and we had the door open, and it was like in December, and we're in Kansas City, so it was like 82 degrees, and the train starts coming, and it wasn't rattling, but this guy, I thought he was like gonna have a heart attack, because he was like, what the hell, and his back was to the train tracks.
Yeah. It's one of those things. If you being here, when it's coming.
Yeah, or when it's not, maybe. they're always coming. But
phrasing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How far are we into this podcast? How many hours are we into it?
We're an hour 10.
Oh, we're still good.
We're fine.
Not that we don't.
We don't really pay attention.
People actually listen to you that long?
Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, I can't explain why.
You'd be surprised. I've got a shout out to Mike. I've got a buddy of mine. And he had never listened to a podcast until he was sitting. I was bartending at Windshift.
Oh yeah.
And he didn't know there was a podcast app on the iPhone. Didn't even know it.
Should give me a little bit more of that
No,
stout.
I'm sorry. we're fresh out.
Yeah, I like the way you did that. Look, a train.
Squirrel. So he had never listened to a podcast, much less knew that there was a podcast app on the iPhone.
That's kind of fun.
And his wife hipped him to it, and we were the first one, the first podcast he subscribed to. And he was like, "Yeah, he went out of the country.
He went to Mexico and drove and listened to it the whole way.
Every fucking
As
podcast.
you're going, that's cool.
Yeah, he
that's
listened
cool
to
as
everyone.
shit.
So
You're like Jack Kerouac.
who's that?
I both thanked him and apologized at the same time.
Well, the thing that cracks me up.
He's British.
Oh yeah, that explains a lot.
You gotta forgive him. He doesn't know Kerouac.
Shut up. But the funny thing was, he's like, I'm listening to all these podcasts. He's like, yours is one of the best produced podcasts, and we laugh because we're like,
well, you have a great voice. I mean, it's very soothing.
Nigel Knight has a great voice.
I'm a radio guy.
Yeah,
I was a former radio guy.
You're like the non-Barry White.
Sure, you're right. Sure, you're right. I ain't that deep. It's funny, when we start the show, and my buddy Jonathan does the open.
Or I'm sorry, Isaac Hayes.
Okay,
That's
you go.
who I meant.
Sure, you're right.
That's who I meant.
So Jonathan, who has a great voice on the open of our show, I met him weirdly because we were at a buffet. It wasn't a buffet. It was like a Sunday brunch
at the Corral?
At Smoke.
At the Corral.
Did you meet at the Chocolate Fountain?
What was that? What was they were at the Golden Ox.
The Wiz. You're going to Sizzler. You're going to Sizzler.
It was a Perkins.
Oh, okay.
So we were standing next to each other at the buffet. It was a Smoke, actually, because they used to do the Sunday thing during the Chiefs games. And he's like, he said, how you doing? I was like,
ooh.
I was like, bro, do you do voiceovers?
Like, how you doing?
Right. How's your mama doing? And that's how I told him, I said, dude, you need to use that voice for good.
How many years ago?
That was we're 2 years in.
We're on year 3 now, right?
Wow.
Yeah, we're in year 3. Yeah, we're into year 3 into it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so,
Congrats.
Episode 69.
Small hurdles.
Craig, you're
That's
episode
good.
69.
That's awesome. awesome. Yeah, couldn't you imagine you just like singing to your buddy driving through Mexico? By the time I get to Oaxaca, she'll be gone.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Drinking his mezcal.
I love me some mezcal.
Oh yeah, I like that.
I had a couple of mezcal old fashions the other night. Man,
woo. Yeah,
it was a great idea.
Yeah. That's a choice.
I make good choices.
Yeah.
It wasn't a good choice. I had
bad
to be working
decisions.
on it.
Bad decisions.
Yeah, bad
good
decisions.
Choices,
good choices,
bad decisions.
Yes.
That should be the name of like something.
Some beer. I think that's a series of beers. You got good choice, and the next one's bad decisions.
That could be like the Roadhouse. That could be like where Patrick Swayze works.
Be nice.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
So I would say crack the next mystery beer. We don't have glasses though.
That's all right.
We're good.
I got to roll at 5:30 anyway.
Do you?
So you guys, you're gonna have to sit on the corner and drink.
All empty bottles. I'm going to be on the curb.
We're just going to set up a little pyramid outside your door. No big deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, nobody will mess with you. I can give you some lamb ribs. You can just fire up the Weber.
There you go.
Be here tomorrow when I show up.
I know you.
This might be my new favorite place in KC.
Yeah, we're gonna have to come do a dinner here. That would be fun.
We're gonna have a dinner.
Yeah, we'll get a group.
We could do a good beer dinner.
Our for those listening that are in the KC area.
Yeah.
Are there openings still for dinners for this season?
Yeah, so it's all prepay, and it's been weird. We've done, how many was it? In like the last 12 days, we've done I think it's the last probably 15 days, we've done like 7 Ochos. But they've been weird. They've been like on a Monday or a Tuesday or a Thursday or a Sunday.
So you get to pick the day? Is that the way it works?
Okay, so you're open for booking any day?
Yeah, well, through the end of September.
Okay.
And then you call me, let me know what day you want. Teresa runs the calendar. And then if it's available, you pay me for all 8 seats. And I have a good cancellation policy, but you pay me for all 8 seats, you get the date, and then you come. So it's kind of nice. The small business, you get the money up front.
Yeah.
Where can people go?
Yeah, go to tableocho.com.
There we go.
You can follow us on Facebook. And what's really cool, what you guys should do, you could bring this if you want to look official, or you can just come and drink. But I do barbecue drive-bys. So that's what I was supposed to be doing this afternoon, and I got behind the damn computer. So on like Wednesdays and Thursdays, I fire up my big grill out back and just like hang like 25 chickens, or I'll do lamb, or I'll do whatever, sausage or ribs or whatever. And you just drive by and you pick it up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock. And there's always wine open, beer open, whatnot. So, yeah.
I'm going for the dip.
Oh,
wait a minute.
I'm going to do it. So
this is the first. So I have a friend in Napa that actually pairs the cake with blue cheese.
Here we go.
Oh,
he rubs blue on it.
Ready?
Yeah, we're dipping the rum cake in the rum cake beer. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Soggy goodness.
Well, that was a solid decision.
And can you imagine that over ice cream?
Oh.
Or sorbet, like a sea salt sorbet.
Might be too much.
Might be. Might be.
But, I mean,
not
I'm not
enough.
saying I wouldn't try it.
Yeah.
But that was damn near perfect.
That's good, but I like to chase it better.
I like the chaser.
Yeah, I like to chase it.
I like one for my baby, one for the road.
You know what I would do?
The beer kind of overpowered the cake.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I would do?
What's that?
I would put one of the small cakes in an ice cream bowl.
Yeah.
And I'd drizzle the beer like it was chocolate syrup. And then I'd eat.
Look at you. Our little ratatouille in the house. Anyone can cook.
I have few skills in my life.
He does that for sure. So what about the rum cake side? Where do they find? Where do they order?
So yeah, there's another link on the Table Ocho site, but you can go to judesrumcake.com.
Gotcha.
Judes, like Hey Jude, but judesrumcake.com. And you can pick them up here. You can actually ship them, mail them, all that good stuff.
Anywhere.
Like, yeah, India to Germany to Holland to
I should send one
New
I
Zealand.
should send one to my mother.
Oh, you should.
It really pissed her off.
Where's she live?
She's in Dallas.
Oh, yeah, that's easy.
Yeah.
People in Dallas are pissed off in general.
it's that fucking traffic.
It's all that traffic.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I might send one to my brother's in Dallas, too. He would fucking shit his pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is literally, I'm telling you, bro.
What you should do is send them like one like that size. Just piss them off.
I sent you a cake.
from your number 3 son.
Are you the baby?
Rude, but I love it. Yeah, I'm the baby's son.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be rude. Yeah, that'd be perfect for my mother though, because she's not gonna eat the whole goddamn rum cake.
Maybe.
Fair point.
People ask, they're like, "How many does this serve?" And I'm like, you get like 10 slices, so probably like 6 to 8 people. And they're like, not in my house.
No, the one I had, it did not. It was I think I gave away 2 slices.
I have a buddy. You guys know Kevin at Cellar Rat downtown?
I do not.
Kevin's cool. He's cool as hell. And he's the owner at Cellar Rat. It's like wine, beer, all that good stuff. It's like 18th in Baltimore. So years ago, we were doing Holiday Mart, where like we sampled like 12,000 people, rum cakes. And the biggest critique was, they wouldn't buy the fucking thing, but the biggest critique was,
jackass.
These samples are like way too big. I'm like, well, move along. I'm like, shut up. And so anyway, the first year, I bribed all my friends. I'm like, hey, I've got like 2 cases of wine, some rum, if you come and like work my booth. And so Kevin's out there, and we're all young professionals and whatnot. It was cool as hell because Kevin's like, he's like, get your rum cake. He goes, I use them as a loofah in the shower. I had one buddy that like his wife sent a picture to me at the time, and he's wearing one of my Jude's rum cake aprons and nothing else. Oh. And I'm like, yeah. We're gonna have a problem here, Houston.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
How do you eat your rum cake? Naked.
Butt ass naked.
Oh,
that's different.
That's funny. Episode 69. Yeah. Who would have thought?
Fair.
Who would have thought?
Nick, where can they find us?
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps. Even one of them are Alexa devices. Hey, Alexa, play the Beers with Nigel podcast. And Nigel, follow us on the socials. Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram,
and
YouTubes.
Yeah, Twitter. We also have merch.
Are you on the Googles?
You can Google us.
You can.
Or as the great Denny Matthews said, you can gargle us.
Or as the great Ed Bailey says, we're Googleable.
Googleable.
I think we should look into cassettes.
8 tracks.
Oh, maybe reel to reel.
Let's go vinyl.
Yeah.
I think vinyl would be cool. If we put the show on vinyl, wouldn't that be fun?
I think it would be fun.
I
kind
think
of
it would be.
Adjust your voice from 33 1/3 to 45.
We made that mistake once. What happened was,
Craig, funny you should mention that. Funny you should mention that. Yeah, there was an episode that Somehow, that was your weird piece of equipment.
Well, I had a piece of equipment that is no longer with us.
Yeah,
I had to put it down.
It decided to record everything much faster than it actually happened.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
And you guys are like chipmunks.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. And it wasn't a change in the settings. It decided it was done.
Yeah, and I told him I told him to post it like that, but he didn't want to do it. So I showed him a trick on how to make it actually real. But shout out to Jason.
It's funny. We used video software to correct the audio.
Oh my gosh, how funny!
But the funny thing was, Jason, shout out to Longbill Pizza and Lee Summit. He was like,
Jason.
let's just, oh yeah, Jason.
Eggers? He's a badass.
He's just like, come do it again.
Yeah, he's like, let's do it again.
Oh, did you do it there?
Yeah, it was a fucking shit show.
Yeah, God, I
there was
love that guy.
There was a lot of drinking that night.
And a lot of pizza.
A lot of pizza.
A lot of weird pizzas.
Not a lot of beards. He's the only one with the beard, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of got a beard.
Yeah,
I trimmed this week.
Yeah, I cut mine off. The little I had a little 6-month project.
Yeah,
it didn't go that well.
Yeah. Jason bought one of my lambs. He bought the big lamb.
Oh, I'm
it's
not,
like 140
I'm not
pounds.
I'm not surprised. That dude is.
He knows his beer.
Oh,
ooh,
he has a great beer selection, and he knows how to cook some shit.
Have you ever seen his car? His old car?
Oh yeah.
It's badass.
Oh yeah. Jason, that's my dude right there.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
We might have to stop and see him on the way.
He can't.
I don't think they're open on Monday. Sorry.
You have to let him know. He'll be there. every small business owner is there on the day off.
Look,
that is fair.
Do days off happen for small business owners?
No, days on. You're always on, but it's fine. So yeah, you have to,
I mean, I feel like you're the type of person you don't feel like you're working to me.
See, my wife gets really mad about that.
the sugar wives struggle with that.
Yes,
when you enjoy your work, the sugar wives, we love them.
Ooh, yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, if you're not, I always sum it up. So 2 things. 1, ask Jason how his pastrami is.
Okay.
Because I used to always make pastrami for him, and he always says it's the best.
Oh.
Which it's badass. It's
okay.
really good. But I need to see how his is coming along because he's kind of smoking now. He's doing all his barbecue stuff.
Yeah.
And then I always summed it up with, if you're not going to make money, have fun not making money.
That's fair.
Damn straight.
That's fair. That's a good way to end the show.
Yeah.
Do it.
Perfect.
You've been listening to Beers with Nigel, a show about beer and other stuff, hosted by Nigel Woodbury and that other guy, Nick Parker. Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, providing bumper-to-bumper graphic design, promo products, and print services. Find them at direoil.com. Beers with Nigel is a proud member of the Fredcast Network and is available on all of your favorite podcast flavors. Find Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and ask Alexa to play the Beers with Nigel podcast.